And often, friends, culture, American culture, especially Hollywood culture, stands against our spiritual values and the teachings of Jesus. But sometimes Hollywood gets it right. I'd like to show a clip from the film Steel Magnolias that I think is the best visual interpretation of the Beatitude that we've just heard that I've ever seen. It is from the climactic scene of the movie when Malin, the southern bell flower, the steel magnolia, loses her steel as she openly mourns the death of her daughter, Shelby. Watch and see if you too don't think that this embodies Jesus' words. Blessed are those who weep now, for they will laugh.
I don't know how you're doing on the inside, honey, but your hair's just holding up beautiful. Shelby was right. This is a brown football.
Oh, honey, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I can jog all the way to Texas and back, but my daughter can't. She never could. Oh, God, I'm so mad I don't know what to do. I want to know why. I want to know why Shelby's life is over. I want to know how that baby will ever know how wonderful his mother was. Will he ever know what she went through for him? Oh, God, I want to know why. Why? Lord, I wish I could understand. No. It's not supposed to happen this way. I'm supposed to go first. I've always been ready to go first. I don't think I can take this. I don't think I can take this. I just want to hit somebody till they feel as bad as I do. I just want to hit something. I want to hit it hard.
Here. Hit this. Go ahead, Malin. Slap her. Are you crazy? Hit her.
Are you high, Clary? Clary, have you lost your mind?
We'll sell T-shirts saying I slapped Weezer Boudreaux. Hit her.
Miss Clary, enough.
Weezer, this is your chance to do something for your fellow man. Knock her lights out, Malin.
Let go of me.
Malin, you just missed a chance of a lifetime. Half a Chickapin parish should give the eye teeth to take a whack at Weezer.
Oh.
You are a pig from hell.
Weezer, don't leave.
Weezer, I was just kidding. Come back. Oh.
Not a very Christian thing to do.
Oh, and now you gotta lighten up.
Jesus said, "Blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh." Perhaps this film clip from Steel Magnolias and today's sermon should come with a warning. You and I are going to talk about loss and grief. And since most of us have experienced that, this sermon may possibly elicit tears. But here's the good news. It is okay to cry in church. In fact, I think it ought to be okay to cry in church not just today, but anytime. This is a sanctuary. This is a safe place. It's a place that we can come to experience the presence of the God of life. It's here at Star Mount Presbyterian that we can lay our true selves before God and hopefully be comforted by the holy presence that this place represents, as well as by the people around us. Well, a former governor of Oregon, Barbara K. Roberts, has written a very helpful book about facing death and loss after the death of her husband, Frank, from lung cancer. The book is called Death Without Denial, Grief Without Apology. Barbara shares part of her story. Frank died on Halloween, and he would be interred on his birthday, December the 28th. I brought his ashes home for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Construction workers were finishing a new room at the mausoleum where his remains would be placed in a few more weeks. But especially during this season, I couldn't face the thought of Frank's urn in the dark and lonely mausoleum vault. Frank was at home for the holidays, but I couldn't tell anyone. So I stood crying in the lovely big bedroom alone with his ashes. The devastating memories of his death and my secret life of grieving. And then I did what I did every afternoon. I walked over to his urn and I put both my hands on this lovely piece of art and I said, "Hi, honey, I'm home." In this room, in this sanctuary, I could still talk to Frank, report about my day, kiss his photograph, and wrap myself up in his robe. Here, holding the urn in my lap, I could tell him how I struggled through each day without him. Do not think that you are abnormal or let anyone tell you that you are when you do things like this, she says. And if you're questioning whether it's okay to grieve in your own way, then I give you permission to weep. Weep loudly. Take his sweatshirt to bed. Talk about her and to her. Keep pictures in the living room and set an empty place at the table. Watch old movies and videotapes that show that familiar face. Hug a pillow and rock yourself. Put your feet in his shoes and wear her ring on a chain under your clothing next to your skin. Cry out his name at night. Visit her grave as often as you need to. Do the things that help you get through the day, the week, the year. Through all of this, remember, it takes as long as it takes. Blessed are you who weep now, says Jesus in his greatest sermon ever preached on a level place by the Sea of Galilee. Blessed are you who weep now, says Jesus, on the third week of our Blessed Be sermon series, examining the Beatitudes in Luke's Gospel. Weeping, grieving, mourning means that you and I have risked enough to love. In the book about the Beatitudes entitled What Jesus Meant, Eric Koebel says that Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor, when talking about the suffering of the Jews during the Holocaust, said, "The opposite of life is not death, but indifference." Koebel continues his thought by saying, life is affirmed in grief because to grieve means something has stirred our passions, has asked us to care deeply about it, given us courage to give a portion of our heart to it. Love is painful because love risks loss. Indifference is tragic because it risks nothing. And here is the truth, my friends. Just as surely as love is part of life, so too is loss. Love and loss are handmaidens. Whether it's the death of a family member or a close friend, whether it's retiring from a job that's given us meaning and has supported our family, whether it's the breakup of a marriage or a cherished friendship, or even the uprooting from hometown things and ways to go away to college. All of us experience grief and loss at some point in our lives. Some of the experts on grief distinguish between grief and mourning or weeping. They say that grief is the more internal. It's the mental suffering. The feelings that come with any loss: shock, anger, denial, pain, confusion, isolation. And mourning, crying, weeping is the external. It's the outward expression of feelings of grief and loss. Mourning is the tears. It may be placing a rose on the casket or sliding the urn in the niche in the columbarium. Weeping shows our grief to the world around us.